I wanted to explain to you how to drop ship on eBay as a complete beginner. I mean, we're going back to the origin, so to speak. So this is like eBay dropshipping 101. Let me first give you an overview here. So there are certain things you need to know before dropshipping on eBay, because eBay's marketplace only allows dropshippers to source products from a genuine trade-only or wholesale supplier, not another retailer. Really important. So violating these rules could actually result in account suspension. So do not violate those rules. So the thing is that what I'm trying to say here is that you cannot actually, let's say you want to source products from Amazon and sell those products on eBay, or source products on Facebook Marketplace and sell them on eBay. You can't do that. Okay, so you have to be very careful here in terms of quality. And you also need to pay attention to eBay fees when dropshipping through the marketplace, including insertion fees, final value fees, and store fees. So when we talk about insertion fees, we're talking about 200 free listings per month for you. After that, that's 35 cents per listing. And for the final value fees, if an item, let's say if an item is sold, eBay takes about 13% of the sale price up to $7,500 plus 30 cents per order. Okay, now this can vary depending on the product category, but I would just want to give you a clear idea about what you should expect. You also have to think about store fees. So we're speaking here about $5 per month for the 250 free listings, and plans for dropshippers with more than 1,000 monthly listings start at about $22 per month. Okay, so bottom line here is that eBay dropshipping is totally profitable. It is profitable. It is low risk. It is profitable. Now, the secret to making a living through this business is sourcing low cost items and selling them via the marketplace for a higher markup. And we're talking about low cost items that are of high quality. And it's really important to understand that at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you do not actually violate any rules. Okay, that's it. Do not buy from one marketplace and try to sell on eBay. You have to buy from a genuine, like dropshipping supplier or wholesaler or whatever, but it has to be it cannot be from another marketplace. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. Make yourself comfortable. We are going to have a very enriching conversation today. So let me give you the steps here. If you are trying to attempt to do dropshipping on eBay as a complete beginner, the first thing you want to do here is that you need to understand that you need to actually create an eBay account. Okay, if you do not want to, you got to create an eBay seller account if you want to get things right. Now, the thing is that when we talk about eBay seller account, you have to be aware that there are some prices to be aware of, and I want to show you right now on the screen. Here is on the screen. You can see here the prices as of the date of this show. Things might have changed by the time you watch this show, but at least you have a clear idea. So for a basic store, think about $22. For a premium store, $60, and for an anchor store, $300. Now, when you start, you want to go with basic store. You're not trying to do premium store. I don't care how much experience you think you have. It's always good to actually test out the waters to see how the marketplace actually react to your products and services before you actually. So you want to start with basic before you go to a premium store. Okay, and with basic store, I mean, that's a low risk investment. $22 per month. That's a low risk when you think about how much you would have to pay on other platforms. And now the $22 per month, that's with an annual subscription. In other words, they're charging you every year. They're charging you once a year. Okay, and so you need to choose an eBay store name. So when you actually go through the whole process, you have to put your zip code, and they might ask you to actually provide also your company information. They might ask you for your EIN, something called EIN, employer identification number. So all kinds of information to make sure that you are a legit company. But by the way, though, you can also be an individual and sell on eBay. Not a problem. You don't have to be a business. I'm just saying that it's just a lot easier to actually to set up a business, an eBay store as a business, because you are able to buy in bulk. You're able to do wholesaling. You're able to do drop shipping. So it's more convenient. Think about it that way. And one thing you need to do also is that you need to actually make sure that you read through eBay's policies and regulations. Okay, and so we're talking about you paying attention to everything around inventory levels, manage business policies, and communicate with buyers. eBay pays attention a lot to that. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you about today's conversation. We are having a conversation about things you should not do if you want to actually succeed on eBay. In other words, how do you actually, what are the step-by-step you need to pay attention to if you want to succeed? What are the errors you need to avoid it? Okay, those are elements to pay attention to. So this is really important. So number one, make sure that you set up an eBay seller account. Do not ignore this step. Very important. The second mistake you don't want to do is to actually find products that are not profitable. The thing is that do not actually embrace products because you like the products or whatever. No, the products must be profitable. So you want to find profitable products, okay? And it's really important to understand that you want to do product research. Do not ignore this step. Do not say, you know what, I think I know the products. I think this product is going to be a killer. This product is going to be popular, blah, 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 blah. No, do not do this. You want to do research. You want to read about the product. You want to do research. You want to see what the competition is selling, so that you have a clear idea about the potential of this product. So do product research to discover which items will sell best on eBay. So you want to head to eBay's bestsellers page, and you want to investigate whether you can actually source similar products at a lower than RRP through dropshipping sites like Alibaba or AliExpress. It's really important at this point to make sure to understand that eBay is a very competitive dropshipping marketplace, because see, the same strategy you are using, you could bet that there are hundreds of other players that are using the same strategy. In other words, they're sourcing products from the same suppliers. They're trying to really make 1 cent or 10 cents per item, and they're just trying to really apply the same strategy. So what is your strategy? What is your formula for success? Remember that you have to choose. You have to specialize you have to specialize in a few products. Don't try to really quote unquote corner the whole market with all products. No, you want to start little. So the best dropshipping products, based on our experience, are hobbyist or business products, items people purchase repeatedly, popular products often bought through eBay, and you also want to choose products that are easy to ship and have a low return rate. Okay. Products that are small and lightweight are generally the easiest to ship, and products with a low return rate are less likely to cause issues with your customers. Very important to think about that, because see, the eBay thing, this is a long-term game. You can't just do this in the short run. It is a long-term game. The third mistake I really want you to really avoid is to avoid vetting your dropshipping suppliers. You gotta vet your dropshipping suppliers. Again, I don't really care about how much you think, quote unquote, you trust them. There is no such a thing as trusting here. When we talk about dropshipping on eBay or on other platforms for that matter, there is no such a thing as trust. First of all, if you trust, the fact that you trust someone doesn't exclude control. You have to always check that what they say they are is indeed what they are. It's all about really double checking, okay? And so please do not ignore this step. You want to vet your dropshipping supplier. So once you have found a product to dropship on eBay, look for a supplier who can provide you with the item at a lower than retail price. So you have all kinds of ways to actually find those suppliers. It really depends on what kind of business model you want to have. And dropshipping websites exist to connect eBay store owners with wholesalers such as Deezers. You have Spocket, you have Doba, you have Worldwide Brand. You have a lot of players in this field. And this is really important to really vet the supplier. You know why? Because when you engage in a relationship, in a dropshipping relationship, in other words, when a customer buys from your eBay store, that customer doesn't care about how you source the product and how you deliver the products. The customer just expects to have his or her product delivered ASAP. That's it. Now, the way you arrange the whole configuration in the background is totally up to you. Okay, and the supplier you choose is arguably one of the most important factors when dropshipping on eBay. The marketplace requires brands to deliver items within 30 days of a customer's order being placed, And so you want to vet your suppliers by checking each dropshipping supplier's seller rating, previous customer reviews, delivery times, and fees. Delivery times are so critical. As I said before, you have 30-day time limit. So especially if you are buying stuff from China, for instance, if your dropshipping suppliers are located in China, you know that it takes about 2 to 3 weeks on average for items actually sourced from China to be in the States. So you always want to pay attention to where your customers are located versus where your suppliers are located, so you can see that you can actually deliver as soon as possible. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about dropshipping on eBay as a complete beginner. I'm just talking to you about some of the mistakes you should absolutely avoid. Another mistake that you need to really pay attention to is pricing your products the wrong way. In other words, having a product price that is not compatible with the marketplace. Let's talk about that. Now, you have to know how to price your products on eBay, because eBay dropshipping can be a lucrative business model, but only if you're actually leaving enough room between the product's purchase and resale price. The thing here is that you're not the only one. I think I said this before. eBay is a very competitive marketplace, even more competitive than Amazon for some products, and Etsy. For example, it will be hard to make substantial revenue if each item has just a $1 profit margin. So it's really important for you to actually strike the right balance between the product's price and your profit margin. If you are in business and you can't generate revenue, you can't generate income, you're not going to survive over the long run. So it's very important for you to have a clear idea about the product and how much the market is willing to absorb. In other words, what is the potential price that your potential customer can absorb with no problem. And so to determine the price of your dropshipping products, you need to consider things like product cost, competitor pricing, other business expenses such as eBay listing fees and shipping costs, and how much profit you want to make. You need to understand, when we talk about competitor pricing, this is quintessential, because eBay wants to keep customers on its platform, which means what? The algorithm will be willing to ship products, or not products, to ship clients, to refer clients to the stores that have competitive prices. So if your store is not competitive in terms of pricing, you may lose business. It's just part of the game, and you got to be aware of that. And eBay is not going to change its policies because of you. So it's up to you to change things. Now, when we talk about pricing in general, pricing is more of an art. It's more of an art than an exact science. So start collecting data and monitoring what comparable products are selling through the platform. Tweak your product's pricing until you find a profitable middle ground between competitive prices and a customer's willingness to spend. Another mistake that you need to avoid when you are a beginner is to ignore your eBay listing. In other words, not having an eBay listing could be a killer for your business. You have to create your eBay listing. Okay, do not ignore this step, because the thing is that even if you have the best products ever, but you don't have a proper eBay listing, the algorithm, eBay's algorithm, is not going to be able to forward business to you, to refer your store to customers. You want to create a listing for each of the items you are dropshipping on eBay, and you want to pay particularly close attention to the following areas, including keywords that your target customer is searching for. Because remember, when we talk about online, like e-commerce in general, or e-commerce store, people actually search for stuff based on keywords, right? I want to do this, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. So those are keywords. So the keywords will influence how likely the algorithm is to show your product listing to potential buyers. So you want to be, and again, if you are confused about what kind of keywords you need to use, I just want you to visit what competitors are doing. Visit your competitors' stores so you have a clear idea of how they're playing the game, and you just play the game the same way. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. You just follow along and do your stuff, okay? And so when we talk about keywords, there are certain elements that you need to pay attention to. For example, the product title, the product descriptions. Make sure that you have high quality images, because when we talk about creating your eBay listings, you have to have high quality images. You also need to think about customer reviews. Those will constitute the foundation that will give more weight to your eBay listings or to your eBay store in general. And you also want to pay attention to your returns policies. So you want to check whether your dropshipping supplier will handle this. And again, you are ultimately responsible for returns and refunds, because your customer has no idea that you are dropshipping on eBay. They have no idea, and they do not care anyway. All they care about is if they return the products, that the return is processed quickly, and that they either be refunded or they actually either receive a new order. Okay, so those are things that really you have to think about beforehand, and you have to think about those things beforehand. Do not think about them after the fact. Another mistake you need to really avoid is to not send prompt information about the order to suppliers. I mean, if you remember, eBay has a countdown. As soon as a customer places an order, they're expected to have their order within 2 to 3 days or 7 days, depending on the order. So basically, if you don't send prompt information to prompt order information to the suppliers, you are wasting time. So you want to have a routine whereby you are forwarding order information to suppliers. Usually, it happens automatically. So if you have the right platform, let's say Deezers or eProlo or Adobe, what will happen is that they will forward your order automatically to your customer, to your suppliers. You don't have to do it yourself. So the responsibility of picking, packing, and shipping items sold on eBay is with your supplier. So you want to use dropshipping software like Deezers or AutoDS or eProlo to automate this communication. Both or three of those apps automatically feed orders details through to your supplier, show its stage to the in the order fulfillment process, and relay shipping tracking numbers to customers. So those are really an important elements. And so, but once you do this, you are able to keep your suppliers in the loop. And you're able to also keep your customers in the loop. It's all about communicating with both sides of the equation here, because those two elements, those two parties, if you will, two parties, your customers and your suppliers, they are equal sort of partners in this game, and they are very important stakeholders. So I just explained to you the 6 steps, the 6 things you need to avoid if you are a complete, let's say a complete beginner, and you're trying to do dropshipping on eBay. And let me close to this conversation by giving you a few pro tips. So when it comes to succeeding with eBay dropshipping, there are a few things you need to really pay attention to so you can succeed right off the bat. Use an inventory management system. You want to prioritize customer support, very important. You want to build strong relationships with suppliers. You want to invest in promoted listings. We're talking about promotions, ads. It can be CPC, it can be anything else. You want to add a multi-buy offer. In other words, you're able to give multiple options to your customer to entice them to spend more and more and more. All right, let's quickly do a recap here. So into this conversation, I was just talking to you about if you are to dropship on eBay as a complete beginner, the mistakes that you need to avoid. So I give you the overview, and then I give you the steps. So the steps really are that you need to make sure that you do not forget about creating an eBay seller account, finding profitable products, vetting your dropshipping suppliers, pricing your price properly, creating your eBay listing, forwarding order information to suppliers. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.